Good morning, all of you. Today we will discuss regarding the pre and post extraction consideration. So, this one is under the Analytical Chemistry Part 2, CHA 391, Analytical Extraction Techniques, Section 2nd. So we know that what is meant by the extraction. Extraction, it is nothing but a separation. So what is the principle for extraction? Extraction is an analytical separation method in which separation of components from a given sample. So we know that in a lab scale the various methods are used for the separation. For example, the evaporation, distillation, steam distillation, fractional distillation. Then the various chromatographic technique we will use for the separation purpose, as well as the different gravimetric method. Okay, and then the with the help of the oven providing temperature, the separation of the component take place. So why the extraction, it is a different method. So here there is the various types of the extraction. So according to their uses and application of the extraction types, the extraction method is a specified. So there are the various types of the extraction. First one is the liquid extraction, which is our second chapter. Second type is the solid phase extraction, third chapter. Then the third type is the solid phase micro extraction, fourth one is the microwave extraction, and fifth one is the supercritical fluid extraction. So supercritical fluid extraction is present was present in a last year syllabus, but now it is omitted. Okay, so these are the basic type of the extraction. So in your exam 2 marks question, write a note on what is mean by the extraction, give in list the different types of the extraction. Okay, so this is your 2 marks question. The first point under the pre-concentration of the substance, it is the organic compound of interested. Okay, so there is a various organic compound is a use for the extraction purpose. For example, aromatic cyclic structure, for example benzene, toluene, ethylene benzene, and the xylene. Okay, then the two large molecular weights such as the polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon PAH, then the more complicated structures such as the pesticides and polychlorinated biphenyl. Okay, then the list of organic compound are present in your book. Okay, so we observe the see the list of the organic solvent to be analyzed with the help of the extraction technique. Okay, so in your book they give the table. In that table the different components are present which are able to extract, which are used for the extraction purpose. So this is the list where the compounds are present. For example, the aromatic hydrocarbon compound and their example. Okay, so first one is compound is the aromatic hydrocarbon compound. Second is the chlorinated aliphatic hydrocarbon. Then chlorinated aromatic hydrocarbon. Okay, so their example. Okay, you will read it. Then the next point under this is the pre-sampling issue. So there is a various issue during the correction of the sample. First issue is the do you have a permission to collect the sample? Without permission we does not collect the sample. Okay, there are the various types of the sample such as the solid sample, water sample, and the gaseous sample. Okay, so firstly we take a permission. Then to specify the sampling equipment required, which are the equipment required for the sampling purpose. Then how many sample will you necessary? What soil, water, or air testing is required? What are the different testing for water, soil, and the air sample? What instrument are available during the experiment? Is the instrument limitation with the sample size? Then is the instrument then the what quantity insurance procedure are available. Okay, what are the method or the protocol for method development? Then what type of the container are required? Do the container require any pre-treatment or washing or cleaning? And the last issue is the sample preservation required? If the preservation is required, then what are the different condition or what are the different preventer are applicable for the different size? Okay, so different sample. So these are the 10 issue during the sampling. So 2 marks question again, what are the different issue during the pre-sampling. So what is mean by the pre-sampling? Pre-sampling means collection of the sample. Okay, how do we collect the sample? What are the different treatment giving for the sample? Then sample strategy. The sample process involving the following: selection of the sample point, the size of the sample area, the shape of the sample area, the number of the sampling unit in each sample. It is advantageous before a sampling to consider the information such as the location of the formal building on the site to potential assess like the distribution of the contaminant. Okay, so any distribution of contaminant can be generally described as random sampling, uniform or homogeneous sampling, patch sampling, or present as a gradient. So with the help of the diagram given in a book, we easily understand what is meant by the random sampling, what is meant by the patch sampling, what is meant by the homogeneous sampling. So first diagram, it is for the random sampling. Second one is the homogeneous, all the sample area sample is a same. Third one is the patch. So in a square area, for example the soil sample, okay, we take a different sample, 3 sample for a different area of the patch. Okay, then fourth one is the homogeneous with the sub area. Okay, so some area are the homogeneous, some are the random, so we take a sample from that area. Then the fifth one is the gradient. Okay, some are the homogeneous, some are the patch, some are the random, so all types of the rand is present and we take a sample from this area. Okay, so this one is related to the sampling strategy. Okay, then the next point is the practical aspect. Okay, how do we take a soil sample, water sample and the gaseous sample? So first one is the sampling for soil and sedimental. So there are the two types how do we take a sample. So first one is the twin blade and second one is the corkscrew. Okay, so if we observe in your book, okay, they give the diagram for the soil sampling. Okay, so first one is the twin blade and second one is the corkscrew. With the help of this apparatus we take a soil sample. Okay, then the second one is the sampling for water. So we have a plastic or the stainless steel bottle or container. Okay, so there are the two lids, upper lid and the lower lid. When we take a sample from the lowering lid, at that time upper lid is a close and vice versa. Okay, we have a supporting flame to that container. Okay, so this one is related to water. So there is a various types of the water sample such as the surface water. Example of this is the river, lake, runoff, etc. Then the second type is the groundwater and spring water. So wastewater, the third type is the wastewater. Example mine, drainage, landmark, industrial effluent. Then the saline water, estuarine water and brine water, resulting from the atmospheric precipitation and the condensation. For example, the rain, snow, fog, dew. Okay, so there is the various types of the water to be analyzed with the help of the extraction technique. Then third type of the sample, it is the air sample or the gaseous sample. So we use a two different way to collect a sample. First one is for the vapor or gaseous sample and second one is the for particulate sample. So for the particulate sample we absorb the material with the help of the filter paper made by the fiberglass or the cellulose. And secondly, when we have a vapor or gaseous sample, it is absorbed by using a ion exchange resin or polymeric substance. In this way, with the help of these two methods, we collected the air sample. Okay, so first one, soil sample we collect with the help of the twin blade corkscrew, whereas the sample bottle is present for water sample, and for gaseous either we use a filter or ion exchange resin for absorb the gaseous sample. Then practically we have either the chromatographic technique or spectrophotometric technique for analysis of the pre-sample. Okay, so here in your book they give the gas chromatographic method and HPLC method. So we know that under the gas chromatography the mobile phase it is the gaseous in nature. So there is a various component. So this part we will see under the CHA 392 section first. Then the high performance liquid chromatography, this part is done under the CHA 392 section second. So we know that there are the various component of the HPLC. What is the purpose of the HPLC? What is the purpose of the GC? In case of GC, according to the boiling point, the separation of the component take place, whereas according to the polarity or the nature of the sample, the separation or the resolution of component take place under the HPLC system. There is a various part of the GC and the HPLC, which is showing in this PPT. Okay, in detail we will see the GC in a CHA 392 section 1, and we already done the HPLC part. Then the sample pre-concentration method. So there is a various types for the pre-concentration. So what is the necessary for pre-concentration? If the concentration of the sample component in a sample is very low, at that time we reduce the quantity of the sample. This process is known as the pre-concentration. So sometimes when the concentration of the organic compound in the sample extract is exactly to be very low, it is necessary to reduce the volume of organic solvent. Okay, and this method it is known as the pre-concentration. So there are the total 4 method explained in your book. So first one is the gas blow down, second is the Gunderna Danish evaporating concentration, third one is the automated concentration system, and fourth one is the rotatory evaporator. First one is the gas blow down. So names indicate that we provide a gas for evaporation purpose. So here we use a nitrogen gas. So we pass a nitrogen gas towards the surface of the solvent. Due to that, it reduces the quantity of the sample and increase the concentration of the sample. So the typical procedure for a gas blow down is carried out by blowing the steam of the nitrogen over the surface of the solution while gently warming the solution. The sample is placed an appropriated size tube with a conical base, or gently stream of nitrogen is directly towards the side of the tube so that the flow over the surface of the organic solvent extract which at the same time is being gently heated and the separation of the component take place. So if you observe the diagram for this, yes, this is the diagram for the typical gas blow down. Okay, so this one is the gas container or the sample tube where the sample is placed. We pass a nitrogen gas upper side. Okay, and due to that nitrogen gas, okay, it's evaporate the sample and we completely concentrated the sample. Then the second one type is the Kundarna-Donesh evaporating concentration. So here the evaporation of the sample take place. We have a evaporating flask having a capacity 500 ml. Then we connected the one end to a cinder column and the other end to the concentrated tube. We are having a 10 ml capacity. The sample container organic solvent, we take a 200 to 300 ml of the sample is placed in a apparatus together with the 1 or 2 boiling tips and heated with a water bath. The temperature of the water bath is above the 15 to 20 degree. Then the sample or the solution temperature. The positions of the apparatus should be shown in the figure. Okay. So this is the apparatus for the Kundarna Danish evaporating flask. So in Remner flask we take a sample collection tube. After the evaporation, whatever the resultant solvent are collected with the help of the collection tube. Then the cinder column. So here the condensation take place. Then the third type is the automated evaporative concentrated system. So solvent from the pressure, with the help of the proper pressure we evaporate the sample. Okay, so here is the solvent reservoir. We apply a pressure on a glass tube. Okay, due to that pressure, okay, it reduce the quantity and collect or condense with the help of the condenser, solvent reservoir condenser. We pass a inert gas, nitrogen inert gas. Okay, in a resultant tube we collect a sample. Then the fourth one is the rotatory evaporator. It is also called as the rotary evaporator. So when we have a mixture of solvent in a same class, so according to their boiling point, we separate the all solvent. Suppose we have a 4 solvent, so we separated all the 4 solvent with the help of the rotary evaporator. Okay, by applying a certain pressure, shake by mechanically with the mechanically, that means the mechanically rotating the flask. Okay, and we provide a temperature with the help of the water bath. Okay, so this one is the diagram for the rotary evaporator. So in a sample collector, we have a sample steam bath. With the help of steam bath, we provide a temperature. Then we have a excess organic solvent collector. So whatever the organic solvent according to their boiling point separate out is collected in this flask. Okay, so this one is regarding the pre and post treatment under the extraction technique. So this one is the initial part of this paper. Okay, so I hope all you are understood.